What is up, YouTube? So today is gonna be a fun day. Actually, not today, this weekend. This weekend is gonna be a really fun weekend. You know why? Because we're going out to the farm and we're gonna do a little bit of work. We've got some cedar trees to remove. We've got a little road work to do. We've got a bunch of fun things, but today's Friday and I'm just leaving work. I just walked out of the door, got the drone, got some other camera gear stuff ready to go. Gonna shoot some really fun stuff this weekend. But when I say we are going out to the farm, I mean like literally this time, we. So Casey and Josie and Hurley are meeting us out at the farm tonight. And they're gonna spend the night out at the farm with us. Right now, I am headed to Great Plains, Kubota, and going to pick up a skid steer with some cedar tree removing elements. So we're gonna pick up one of those saws that can attach to the skid steer. Got a grapple hook that we're gonna pick up, the bucket that comes with it normally that everybody's familiar with. And we are going to do some major work out at the farm, and I am super excited because I have been waiting to do this for a long time. The sponsorship that Final Descent Outdoors, the show that I produce, we have a sponsorship with Great Plains Kubota, and we're also doing some work for them, shooting some video. So I'm gonna shoot some really good footage of the skid steer with the drone, with my nice camera, with the GoPro, like all this stuff. We're gonna get a bunch of really cool angles and be able to use this footage for their company. So it's kind of a cool trade-off. So anyway, let's load up the car. It's almost 3:30. Got to run by the post office. Then we're gonna head to Kubota, get the skid steer, and head out to the farm. So we'll see you when we get there. So I do the cliche like transition thing, like boom, boom. We'll see you at the farm. And well, we're here. We've made it. Got all the gear to give this a shot. Ended up calling, actually called me, Larry, the guy who's going to do our groundwork, who lives out here, who also knows a lot about this equipment and stuff. He's going to meet me out here tomorrow to give me a few pointers, show me some stuff, because I mean that's the beauty of this is only the third time that I've run a skid steer, but I got the equipment from GP Rents, and we're going to be able to get stuff done, and we're going to get up the hill here and make sure that we get some stuff cleared out, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be good. And to help, he's gonna be here and show me some pointers. If I have anything that I don't know how to do, he'll say, hey, here's how you do this. So good learning experience. Also getting some work done that needs to be done. As you can see, I mean, this is part of the section of land that's not mine right here, but I mean, there's just cedar trees everywhere. So we'll try to get into it and see what we can make happen and see if we can get some stuff done. Forgot the gloves. Now the time lapse can start. So this feels like it's been a long time coming. I mean, I've been waiting for a very, very, very long time just to get started on something. And this is one of those low-cost items that is just easy. And we couldn't have picked a better weekend to come out and do this. I mean, the weather was awesome. We had just gotten done having so much rain and so much even snow. It was just nasty. And so this weekend was awesome to get away and just get out in nature for a little while. And not to mention, I get to drive around in some big boy toys for a whole weekend. I mean, that's a lot of fun. Everything is off the trailer, and I've got the skid steer and the other two elements up here on the hill, and kind of got back in the rhythm. Started to kind of get the rust off and getting the controls back on the skid steer, so that's good. So I've got the tree cutting element on the skid steer right now. Over there, I've got the flat blade bucket and the grapple bucket, so when we cut the trees down, we'll be able to, you know, take them and pile them up. And so there's a pile, you can kind of see it kind of down there in the middle of that bottom over there. Let's see if I can zoom in on it a little bit. Right here. That stuff down there in the bottom right there, so that's where we're gonna end up trying to take all the trees that we cut down. And so now that we're up here, I thought, let's give the old tree cutter a whack and see what happens. The saying is, you start small, right? So let's start small and work our way up. So we're gonna start right here on these two little guys. Right there, little bitty cedar trees. All right, we know it works. We've got a lot to do. Let me turn you around. So as you can see, we've got some things to do tomorrow in the world of cedar trees. So Casey and the kids just showed up, so let's try to go see what they're doing. All right, so Hurley got here and he's not excited at all.
Yeah, I am.
Not excited at all. We ran the...
I am excited.
Well, don't tell them what we did.
We chopped down the trees.
Well, you gotta talk to the camera.
We chopped down those trees.
Yeah. Well, we went to work right here. You guys kind of saw it a little bit. It's super hard to see in the dark. We'll look in the morning, but man, that did some serious work. Oh, good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful morning today. I did not get such good sleep last night. But you know what? I think maybe just being excited about today and getting to go play with the big boy equipment. I tell you one thing, it is a balmy 22 degrees outside right now. Whew, a little cold. I'm glad that the skid steer I have has a cab on it, so that should help keep a little bit of the warmth in. But we're gonna head across the road and start getting to work. We got a bunch of cedar trees to get rid of. It really is a beautiful morning out here, guys. Like just getting across the road, just beautiful morning. There's barely any wind for Oklahoma. This is a big deal. These cedar trees, they grow like crazy. They grow fast and they choke out all other vegetation. So any of these big oak trees, if you get a few cedar trees under one of these big oak trees, they'll choke the life out of that big oak tree. I can't remember what it is, the stat. I may be way off on this, but I feel like it's something in the neighborhood of one cedar tree drinks like about 50 gallons of water a day, or a mature cedar tree. See, it's crazy because that doesn't seem right, but I think that's the point of the stat, is like, you're like, what the heck? Because that's what it is. So, but we kind of got some stuff done last night, but Hurley and I, he sat in the Kubota with me, And we went up here and kind of just started small with some little trees just to see how the tree saw part worked. So we pulled out last night in the course of like 10 minutes. All of these cedar trees right here. This whole area, you can see all of this stuff right here was just full of cedar trees. Here's kind of a before look, and you get to kind of see what it looks like after. Enough talk about trees. Let's get them out of here. I'm honestly nervous to get my camera too close because I'm afraid I'm gonna like swing it in and knock. Land management is a really important part of living out on the farm. I mean, we've got to take care of the land or it just gets out of control. And that's something that I thought about a lot while I was out there pulling out these cedar trees. I mean, there's aspects of our life, if we don't keep them in check, they will grow out of control and begin to choke the life out of everything that we have going on. All right, so we got rid of one that was right here. So I'm gonna see if we can get maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, there's 6 cedar trees right in here. Let's see if my skills are up to the task of pulling this off. Am I the most graceful driver of a skid steer that you've ever seen? No, not by a long shot, but I'm getting it down. I'm getting the hang of it. This is one of those things that if you take your time and you're slow and you're safe and you don't do anything stupid, and you can do just about anything. That's the cool thing about the Great Plains Kubota renting gear, is that I don't have to own a skid steer. I don't have to maintain a skid steer. I don't have to maintain all this equipment. It's a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't you do it? We got a lot of trees down here and it's just starting to get kind of cluttered. So I've got a bucket with a claw on it so I can try to move some of these trees so we can kind of get them out of the way. Then we'll put the cutter back on and get back to work. But we need to kind of make a little room. It's amazing how when I'm doing something that's like this, that my mind always just kind of tends to wander to things. And my mind always kind of starts to wander to things of God and spirituality and things that are going on in my life. And the cedar tree stuff is really something that is a big deal, because in my life, and I don't know about your life, but there are areas that if I don't keep them in check, I'm constantly praying about or thinking about, that they start out as a small weed, and before you know it, it's a giant tree in my life that's drinking 40 gallons of water a day. I mean, it just gets out of control. And I find myself having to continually go to God and re-surrender those aspects of my life that I let get out of control, or I let take precedence over Him and what He has for our life. And this journey that I feel like that we're on just continues to mold and change, and I hope that it continues to turn into what He wants for our life, and not some kind of overambitious goal that we are trying to accomplish in our own life to make ourselves look cool. Because at the end of the day, it's all about Him. Okay, so I got a lot of the trees cleared out that we've cut down so far. We got a lot more to go. Not gonna lie, it's a lot of fun. So I'm taking a little break. My brother showed up a little bit ago with his wife Katie, and so he's gonna go run the grapple, try to pick up some of these cedar trees that we cut, and I'm gonna get the drone out and shoot some cool drone footage, so this should be fun. I hope that today you can kind of take some time and look at your life and see, do you have any cedar trees, or do you have a cedar tree forest in your life that is growing out of control, that's distracting you from what's important in life, from God, from your family, from what's most important right in front of you? If that's you today, I just want to encourage you to take some time and really sit down and think about those things, pray about them. And hey, if you need help, ask me. I'd love to add you to my prayer list or do anything that I could possibly do to help you out. Here we are at our pile. See, we got a lot of cedar. We got another pile on the other side full of cedar trees as well. God, what a mess. I'm super glad to get these out of the way. Thorn bushes. That felt good. Man, it's quite a fort, quite a fortress of cedar trees. Using this skid steer from Great Plains Kubota, their rental program, was awesome. I got to just pick it up, drive it to where I needed to, and then use it. And then the best part, at the end of the day, I take it back to them and they have to deal with any maintenance. All right, so my brother just took off. I appreciated his help. It was easier, it's much easier to shoot some drone footage when you've got somebody else driving the thing you're trying to shoot as opposed to doing it yourself. It just doesn't work out. So we're gonna head out to the road where we're gonna put our gate to see if we can maybe try to dig up those trees that are there and then throw them back over the fence and we can put them in our pile over here. So these are the trees that we're talking about. We're gonna see if we can get them out with this puller. See what happens. There's always moments in your life when you think you're doing something like really, really well, and then you are promptly humbled. This is one of those moments. This is ridiculous. We did it. Oh, I hope I got that on camera. Day almost done. We got one more section of cedar trees to remove, and they're big ones. These trees right here, they basically block the entire view for the house that's right behind us. So we're gonna get rid of these trees. This will also help when we get to the power when they're running it back in. Last bit, here we go. Life is just kind of a constant maintenance program. Removing things that are not good and trying to do the best you can to nurture the things that are. I want to encourage you today, put those things that concern you at the foot of the cross. Allow God, the ultimate gardener, to maintain those areas of your life. Oh, well guys, that is officially the first improvement on our land that we have done for this house, and it feels awesome to have that done. I'm excited now. It's starting to feel like really real, which is really cool. So, but I mean, just like, I don't remember if you remember seeing this area, but this right here is what this looked like. I'll take you up the hill in a second and show you all of the trees that we cleared out in there. But I mean, look at that pile down there. I mean, that is a lot of cedar trees. I mean, there's another pile up there and there's another pile up on the top of the hill. The skid steer was awesome. There's no way we wouldn't have done this without Great Plains Kubota and the GP rents with using that skid steer, the saw cutter, the grapple bucket. So, but just look at this. I'll try to find a good before and a good after picture to see the relative difference between these two, but check this out. This is where the shop, the garage, the outbuilding, the whatever you want to call it, is gonna be. Then out there is gonna be the house. Our house is gonna be right out here in this area somewhere. just really cool to kind of start seeing things come together, seeing a better vision of what you expected that you could do is now kind of coming to fruition. So super cool. I'm tired. It took so much concentration, and then you're just getting the controls to where you're having to get everything right, and it just takes some time. But once I got the hang of it, it was awesome. It was easy to use. It was a lot of fun. So I can't thank GP Rents enough for having this stuff available for us with the show, with Final Descent. It's awesome having this kind of stuff that we can use. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff down below, and let us know what you think of the place and all the things that are going on. We had a really awesome time this weekend. See you guys on the next video.